What is good, my people? Welcome back to Laced Up Boxing, and today I'm coming at you with an influencer boxing video. And before I even get into the video, if this is your first time watching me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make videos every week talking about boxing, newest boxing updates, breaking down fights, YouTuber boxing, pretty much anything boxing. We're currently sitting on 1 subscriber, so if you wouldn't mind, help me out, man. It would mean a lot. I'm gonna be consistent with the videos, and yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I just feel like I gotta say it, you know, gotta build it up somehow. Anyway, into the video. So this weekend we are fresh off the back of the Kingpyn Semi-Finals. We had Whindersson Nunes versus Kenny and Jarvis versus Anisan Gibb. Now, before even these two fights, the whole card it delivered, you know? Every fight was a good scrap. You saw you saw Elbrook versus some tall birds from Brazil. She got smashed up, but she kept fighting, man. Like, she had heart. And then you had her sister fighting this emo Barbie chick, and yeah, same story. She got smashed. They were both way smaller than both their opponents, so it's gonna be that goth girl versus that Brazilian girl in the final, and they're both like the same height. They sort of like fight the same-ish, so I think that's gonna be a good little scrap. And then in the losers bracket, if they decide to, it's going to be the two sisters versus each other, which is just spicy. And then you had Aaron Chalmers, former opponent of Floyd Mayweather, not a real opponent, exhibition opponent, and he was fighting this MMA guy, and it was a good scrap, to be fair. They were all good fights. It was £10 to watch the fight. It was free on DAZN, but obviously you got to have a DAZN subscription. So it was actually free, but if not, it was £10, which I think was a fair price for all the fights. And then, obviously, the main card, it was Gibb versus Jarvis first, and then King Kenny versus Whindersson Nunes. So I actually thought that Jarvis would beat Gibb. My head was telling me Gibb would win, but my heart was saying Jarvis would find a way and catch Gibb when he comes in with his chin like up in the air. That didn't happen. I think Jarvis felt the pressure, felt the power, and shelled up and got hesitant to throw. Gibb took him into the deep waters, showed his gas tank was superior to Jarvis's. He was throwing good combos, down to the body, up to the head, showing good variety, and just putting the pressure on, really. Jarvis was more trying to hit that one punch, whereas Gibb was just putting volume onto Jarvis. And I think that's where the experience of Gibb came in handy. Obviously, you see that Gibb is a slow starter normally. Like in the Jake fight, he got taken out in the first round. In the Osman Broom fights, he normally lost the first round. And even in this fight with Jarvis, he lost the first round. That's where Jarvis was most successful. However, he knows to weather the storm, and he gets more comfortable in the fight as the fight goes on. Whereas with Jarvis, I think as the fight went on, he got more hesitant to throw and lost his confidence as he didn't want to get caught with a big shot. So this definitely favoured Gibb. And you know, Jarvis is young, he's 22, he's been boxing for 2 years. He'll bounce back and he'll come back stronger. I think he's definitely a top contender in the YouTube boxing space. He just needs to hone out these skills, start getting his head off the centre line, start switching up his combos, throw in different variety of punches. I didn't really see him throw too many left hooks, and when he did, more or less they were pretty good, they would land. So yeah, using his lead hand a little bit better, and yeah, just finding his range. For Gibb, I think you see that Gibb would try and keep Jarvis behind his lead hand. However, Jarvis would sometimes be able to throw on top of it. So he just needs to work on getting back to his guard quick enough to avoid those shots being thrown over the top of it, and maybe raise his hand up a little bit higher. Now, the fight that stole the night, King Kenny versus Whindersson Nunes. So with Kenny, I feel like he's always had great potential. He's got the perfect stature for boxing, you know, those long arms, tall, lanky guy. He's just never really known how to use his range very well. He would let fighters come into the inside and not punish them for it. You've seen this with quite a few of his fights. So for this fight, I really didn't know what Kenny would turn up, but the best Kenny turned up for sure. I've never seen Kenny feel so relaxed and so confident in the ring, using his range well, not letting Winderson come towards him. And when he would let Winderson come towards him, he was initiating it because he wanted to throw those hooks. He would step forward with his guard up and throw those short inside hooks, which actually dropped Winderson. He was using a good variety of punches, going down to the body, up to the head, all working behind the jab. He was very elusive, wasn't as twitchy as he normally is, but instead he would do some stuff with his hand and then bang, pop the jab out and work behind it. I think it's fair to say that Winderson wasn't giving much back, but anytime he was, Kenny was still avoiding those punches, switching the angles and getting off the ropes. It was honestly a A-star performance from Kenny. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better fight. Winderson did not show the skill that I thought he had when he fought that other guy in the quarterfinals. He just kind of stood there and took most things, didn't try and work his way onto the inside. Yeah, it was disappointing from Winderson for sure. But Winderson versus Jarvis will be in the next round, and I'm looking forward to that. I think that Jarvis will do very well against Winderson, as they both have similar sort of styles, but I feel like Jarvis is a bit more explosive and has a bit better of a ring IQ than him. So that'll be a good fight for Jarvis, I believe. And then obviously next after that is Kenny versus Gibb. Now this fight is going to be good, like completely different styles. Kenny with that long style working behind his jab, and Gibb, that inside fighter, putting the pressure on, punches and bunches. So it's definitely going to be a good fight. Will Gibb be able to break through Kenny's jab? Will Kenny be able to keep Gibb off him in the later rounds once they're both fatigued? Gibb has shown he's got good cardio, and Kenny does as well. They're both gym rats. They both are really into this game. So that's going to definitely make for a good fight. I feel like the person with the biggest heart will win, who can keep on throwing for the longest once it gets into those later rounds. I really hope the winner of this Kingpyn event gets a shot at someone high up in Misfits. It'd be good to see KSI fight the winner, I think, as it looks like his fight with Tommy Fury isn't going through, and his fight with Jake I don't think will ever happen. Too much ego involved. So I think a good move for KSI would be fight the winner of this tournament. But yeah, man, this was just a quick video to talk about what had happened over the weekend. I was gonna break down the fights, but I actually filmed a prediction video and it got copyrighted, so I don't think you can use any of these Kingpyn clips. So yeah, I can't really add the videos in. Again, if you're watching, please subscribe, please give it a like. I mean, these videos are very raw at the moment. I'm still new to it, but I'm going to be consistent and getting better as time goes on. So yeah, just stay tuned. I've got good ideas. But yeah, very much looking forward to the finals of the Kingpyn event. I'm not too sure where it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, but it's definitely going to be fireworks. Thanks for watching, people. Peace.